Welcome to Taruna Bhakti News. I'm Fathiya, your host for today, with an astounding story about the first woman and black astronaut to make a flight around the moon in 2024. NASA announced a crew on Monday for its first human mission to the moon in more than 50 years. That includes the first woman and black man to voyage into deep space. By far, only 12 people have set foot on the moon, all of them being white men. Christina Koch, who is a NASA astronaut that holds the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman, will be a mission specialist on next year's Artemis II flight around the moon. And Victor Glover, who is a naval aviator, will pilot the Orion spacecraft that circles the moon in November 2024. Becoming the first black man to take part in a lunar mission. Rounding up the crew are veteran NASA astronaut Reid Wiseman, the mission commander, and Jeremy Hansen, a former fighter pilot now with the Canadian Space Agency. So the 3 Americans and 1 Canadian will become the first astronauts to venture that deep into space since the historical Apollo missions ended in 1972. The Artemis II flight is a prelude to returning humans to the moon for the first time in a half-century and an eventual mission to Mars. It will also test NASA's powerful Space Launch System rocket as well as the life support systems aboard the Orion spacecraft. The 3 American astronauts have all spent time on the International Space Station, while Hansen, the Canadian mission specialist, will be making his first space flight. Meanwhile, the crew expresses their excitement over the trip in their own charm. Koch has said that she's very excited. Glover said that it's more than a mission to the moon and back, but instead it is the next step that gets humanity to Mars. Wiseman, the mission commander, said that the diverse crew was made up of exceptional operators and that they are all just professional explorers. As part of the Artemis program, NASA aims to send astronauts to the moon in 2025, more than 5 decades after the final Apollo mission. Besides putting the first woman and first person of color on the moon, the U.S. Space Agency hopes to establish a lasting human presence on the lunar surface as a stepping stone for an eventual voyage to Mars. So Nelson, the NASA chief, has said he expects a crewed mission to Mars by the year 2040. Well, viewers, that was the news for today, and now we're moving over to the weather forecast. Welcome to the weather forecast. I'm Fathiya, your weather presenter for today. As you can see on this map behind me, this morning in Berlin, the temperature is about 13 degrees Celsius, which will gradually warm up during the day to its peak at 23 degrees, before dropping as nighttime slowly comes around, reaching to around 17 degrees. Also, from the looks of it, it's going to be nice sunny weather from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. with very little to no humidity, therefore low chances of rain. Today would be a great day if you're thinking of going outside with your loved ones. Let's take a look at cities around Berlin, which are going to have similar temperatures, around 11 to 12 degrees. So that wraps up today's weather forecast. Don't forget to bring a picnic blanket and some sunscreen for your time outdoors. Have a great day and stay tuned for more news.